It's tough to find a faithful man, so many can talk a good game, making it seem as if they're committed, when in reality, their eyes are always searching for the next best thing. But there are a few traits that are hard to consistently fake. These are the things that only the most committed men will do. Trust is the most important part of a relationship. Without it, you can never feel sure of anything, let alone become comfortable enough to begin opening up and sharing your life. But while we can never truly know what's going on in a person's head, their actions inevitably give them away. The difference between the faithful man and the one you should be doubting lies in effort. It's just not worth it to an unfaithful man to put all of his effort into you after all. This kind of guy doesn't want to focus all of his attention on you. The faithful man, however, is going to put his entire self into loving you. This attitude will show up as various behaviors, which you can easily identify in order to set your mind at ease. To help you do that, let's check out 6 things men only do if they're being 100% faithful. Number 1. He goes out of his way for you. One of the most obvious signs of a 100% faithful man is that he goes out of his way for you. An unfaithful guy isn't going to inconvenience himself for you. He's only in it or himself. And even if he tries to fake it for a while, he'll soon tire of the act. A better sort of man, however, will be willing to forego his wants to meet your needs. He'll take time for you, doing things he doesn't necessarily want to do so that your life can be made better. He does this because he sincerely cares about you. This might look like him cleaning the house instead of going fishing. It may take the form of preparing a lovely dinner date for the two of you, despite being tired from work. It could be the simple act of saying "I love you" when he has a hard time with vulnerability. If he's trying, he's loving. So take note if your guy frequently does things for you that either take him out of his comfort zone or that inconvenience him, because if he's putting work into you in this way, he's putting work into being faithful as well. Number 2, he listens to you. Have you ever been talking to a guy only to notice that his eyes seem a million miles away, or that he's constantly pacing or checking his phone as you speak? Yeah, that's not a good sign. This guy has mentally checked out of the relationship. The faithful man, however, listens to you because he's genuinely interested in what you have to say. He's investing his emotional energy in you, and only you. To figure out if your man is the faithful type, look for signs of active listening. Does he allow you to speak without interrupting? Does he respond appropriately, displaying an understanding of what you've just said? How is his body language? Does he face you as you speak? And is he avoiding physical distractions, such as fidgeting? This kind of respectful listening takes a lot of work. And so only those guys who are totally faithful to you will be able to do this day after day. Number 3, he remembers. One great sign of man's dedication to you lies in how well he remembers important facts and dates about your life. This shows that you're worth paying attention to. Ask yourself a question: does your man remember the small things that make you happy? And does he use that knowledge for your betterment? If the answer is yes, then you've got a faithful man on your hands. But if your guy doesn't seem to care about the details of your life, your interests, and your history, something's up. This is a big sign that he isn't as committed as he should be. Remembering isn't just about having a good memory. It's about making the choice to write things down, to plug important dates into an electronic calendar, or to otherwise make sure that what is important isn't forgotten. A dedicated man will go the extra mile to truly get to know you, and he'll use what he knows to make you happy. So keep an eye out for a man who remembers the important things. That's the guy who'll stay true to you. Number 4, he's involved in your life. Something that only totally faithful men tend to do is to get involved in your family life. If you're important to him, then the people you love the most will be as well, depending on where you are in your relationship. Take note of how interested he is in meeting your family. It's normal to be nervous, but is he totally disinterested? Even after you tell him that meeting your family is important to you, that's a big red flag. Only the guys who are totally committed to you will take the time to pursue a meaningful relationship with your family. It's just not worth it for a guy who is trying to keep his options open. But if he's willing to integrate himself into your web of relationships, this is a good sign that he's a keeper. Take note of how he treats your family as well. If he's consistently kind and respectful, he gets some serious bonus points. Number 5. He features you on his social media accounts. Want to know a great sign that a man is 100% faithful? Take a look at his social media habits. A guy who wants to keep his options open won't advertise that he's in a relationship. In fact, he'll keep the fact that he's taken as low-key as possible, which means you won't be showing up much on his social media accounts. But a faithful man will be proud of his relationship with you. And if he has social media accounts, you'll be plastered all over it. Don't get the wrong idea here, though. Not everyone is social media savvy. But there's a difference between someone who doesn't really log on and someone who posts hundreds of pictures of his friends, cats, and meals, but nothing that indicates he's in a relationship with someone he loves. Keep an eye on how much your man advertises your relationship, and you'll get a better idea of how committed he is to you alone. Number 6. He's honest about his mistakes. The ability to own up to mistakes is the single biggest indicator that a man will be 100% faithful to you. The importance of this trait can't be overstated. A guy who hides his mistakes from you tells you that he doesn't trust you. And if he hides bigger mistakes that involve you, such as with finances or legal issues, he shows a disregard for your safety and well-being. This is the kind of guy who runs when things get tough, and who will likely stray as soon as any hint of relationship trouble comes along. An honest and faithful man, though, is open about his mistakes. If he forgets to pay a bill or overspends on something silly, he'll tell you and he'll learn from the experience. This kind of man only gets better with time, because he uses each mistake as a springboard to find new strengths. Best of all, he doesn't run. Only men who are faithful are willing to own up to their mistakes every single time. If they're not, they won't care about establishing the trust that is such a vital part of any relationship. Number 7. Signs of the faithful. A man will only put work into making you happy, fulfilled, and secure if he intends on being faithful to you. Keep a lookout, or these signs will help you find the guys that are worth your time. If he doesn't live up to one or two of these positive behaviors, it's probably not a big deal, but if your guy misses out on all the we've mentioned, it might be time to look elsewhere for the man of your dreams.